I've already tried to film this once, so I'll make this short, sweet, and to the point. It's August 1st, and I've read 76 books. That's for so far this year, not like today. I've read 76 books. But my ultimate goal every year is 100 books. So my plan is to sort of do what I did last year, where I read I did it end up being like a 48-hour period. I read as many books as I could. I'm going to read as many books as I can from now until August 13th when I have to go back to school. I think it's completely doable, but I need to do it because August gets chaotic. My job starts back. I start back grad school. My sister's having a baby this fall. Like everything's a little bit rough for reading. So I've pulled out all like my graphic novels, my novellas, my like small poetry collections, my anthologies, everything that I think I can read pretty quickly. I've even gotten a bunch of audiobooks together that are between 4 and 6 hours that I can listen to. So today's plan, I'm going to listen to an audiobook while I clean my kitchen because it is a nightmare in there. And I clean my car because I'm going to Charlotte to visit my friend Gina this weekend. So I need to make sure that my car is ready to go for the trip. And I've got, audiobooks queued up for that. So I'm not going to update you too much. I don't feel good today. I don't know if you can tell from my voice. I don't feel good. You can probably tell from my camera. I got a new phone. I never have lighting on this side of the library. This phone has already improved a lot of my video quality. But I don't feel good. I don't like that I don't feel good. I think it's because my body's allergic to going back to school. So anyway, I will update you guys when I've read some stuff. I've got a couple things that I've currently started. I didn't clear my TBR for this. And I'm going to count them toward this count as well. But I believe the first audiobook I'm going to listen to is One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This, because I've been kind of saving it for something like this. It's really short, but I'd say kind of anticipated. I've been looking forward to listening to it. So I'm going to listen to that one first, and then I'll pick a graphic novel somewhere. One of them. I've got a bunch of them, and I'll get back to you when I've read some stuff. Good morning. It is August 2nd. I did not film anything else yesterday, and here's why. I feel awful. I feel bad. Like my face has been kind of like swollen and like pre-sinus infection levels of irritated. And so yesterday all I did was wash dishes while I listened to One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. And then like mid-afternoon I was like, I cannot stay conscious, and so I took a nap from like 4 to 7. I took a nap, woke up and read The Lost Boy, and I did finish this one. So I finished a book, and I got halfway through One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. Now, first thoughts on that one, and I'll give you a wrap up when I finish it. I'm about 75% through, so I'll probably finish that today. I like it, and I don't know how to say that I like it, given the subject matter and how serious it is, and that it is a nonfiction, like memoir style journalistic thing. It's not like this cut and dry, like I like it, I don't like it. I like the writing. I like how he is introducing these different topics and splitting them into like themed chapters. I like the bringing in of like multiple decades or hundreds of years worth of information to sort of like put a pin on the current conflict in Palestine and like the genocide that's happening there. I really like how called out the Democrats kind of are in his viewpoint, because they should be. If there's so many good quotes, I'm gonna have to go to like Goodreads and pull the quotes, because like he would say something and I was like, oh God, and it's such a good quote. And it basically boils down to like, if you're always running on this platform of like, at least I'm not as bad as this guy, you've never actually had a platform. And that's so true. I'm not trying to be one of those folks that's like, oh, you got to vote third party over this, because obviously, and he says that too, obviously they're the better party, but that still doesn't give them any backbone or strategy to run on. And I don't know. It's so good. And again, I got about 25%. I'll give you a full wrap up later. I did finish The Lost Boy though, which was interesting. I checked this one out from the library. It's about, I'll just read the synopsis. After Nate moves into his new house, he discovers an old tape recorder in his bedroom and is suddenly thrust into a dark mystery about a boy who went missing many years ago. Now, as strange creatures begin to track Nate, he must partner with Tabitha, a local sleuth, to find out what they want with him. But time is running out because a powerful force is gathering strength in the woods at the edge of town, and before long, Nate and Tabitha will be forced to confront a terrifying foe and uncover the truth about the Lost Boy. I think this is great for the audience it's intended for. I think I wanted it to be about double that. And also there was really no concept of good and evil in this book, but I think it wanted you to think there was a concept of good and evil in this book, but I was never sure who was the good characters and who was the bad characters. The drawings are beautiful. Like it's sort of like sketchy black and white and very photorealistic almost sometimes, which added to the kind of the spookiness of it. So if you have a younger reader who wants to kind of get into spooky horror-based thriller stuff, this is a pretty good like step for it. It doesn't look like it's a series, but it definitely, the ending opens it up for there to be a second one. But I did finish that yesterday, so one book down, that's 77 books. And I think today I've gotten 2 more books from the library. Give me a second. I'm trying to prioritize books from the library because I don't want to be that person that holds on to them longer than I need to. So the next book I'm going to read is Glisten. Strange things happen around Glister, Butterworth Glister. I can't tell from the font. A young girl living on her family's English estate, Glister, has unusual adventures every day, from the arrival of a teapot haunted by a demanding ghost to a crop of new relatives blooming on the family tree, a stubborn house that walks off its land in a huff, and a trip to fairyland to find her missing mother. Seems simple enough. And I also got Bloom, so I'll probably work on that today. Now that high school is over, Ari is dying to move to the big city with his ultra-hip band if he can just persuade his dad to let him quit his job at their struggling family bakery. Though he loved working there as a kid, Ari cannot fathom a life wasting away over rising dough and hot ovens. But while interviewing candidates for his replacement, Ari meets Hector, an easygoing guy who loves baking as much as Ari wants to escape it. As they become closer over the batches of bread, love is ready to bloom, that is, if Ari doesn't ruin everything. So I've seen this in people's like TBRs and like reading wrap-ups before, but I didn't know anything about it. So they're pretty chunky. But that's on my docket today. I also have started, I've got like 1 chapter into Mavefly on my Kindle, so I may read that. I'm also going to sort through, I'm just like loading on information right now, but I'm going to sort through my Libro FM books. Yes, Libro FM books, because I'm looking for things 6 hours and under for my road trip tomorrow, because that'll be like just the amount to get there, which is very tempting because they have the Sisters of the Wind book and they have The Maiden and Her Monster, but those are both like 11 hours, and I don't want to do that, but we'll see. We'll see how many books I get done today, and I'll make a decision. Anyway, it is rainy and gloomy today, so really the only plan I have is to read these books and pack for my trip. Okay, I finished 2 more books. I finished One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. Again, kind of on the fence to be like, oh, this is a good book, because like it is good. It's written really well. It's narrated very well, but it is not like a fun, happy story like fiction thing, but it is very, very timely, and I highly recommend listening to it. It just kind of flows. It's very poetic in the way it's read to you, and it will piss you off. I'll have to pull some quotes later. I have not gotten on Goodreads today, but like some of the quotes from that are really gonna make you kind of go, oh, out loud as you listen to it. I also finished Glister, which is sort of a bind up of multiple different comics about this little girl and the weird house she lives in with her dad, and the adventures she goes on. It's very, I don't know, nostalgic for me, like for those like stories, kind of like Pippi Longstocking type stuff, where it's just this girl going through life and things are kind of funky around her. But I really enjoyed this. I think it would be a very fun like animated series. If they decided to make this into a animated series, it could do very well. And it read pretty quickly for being as big as it is. I'm going to be reading Bloom next, and then I've got to find an audiobook to start listening to. Not doing anything crazy today. I have packed for my trip tomorrow. I have put my phone mount in my car, and we're going to cross our fingers that it does not fall off of the windshield. And I think we're going to go see The Naked Gun tonight, I think. Take a movie date. So I'm going to try to finish at least one more book. I am taking some books with me to Charlotte to read, but I fully intend to be busy enough with Gina that I don't read a lot. But I'm prepared to just sit and read as well. Always prepared to just sit and read. But yeah, that's 2 more books down, so that's 3 books total. I'm not doing the math on that. I'll do the math at the end. But like I said, I'm trying to get like 90. I think if I can get to 90, and I think that's doable between now and the 13th. And that's another library book down too. I was not expecting this book to mention one of my favorite, ooh, that chip nail polish, one of my favorite, like, dystopian horror movie things, where, yeah, it's like the end of the world, everyone turns to dust, and they're having to kind of, like, they're trying to survive it. Anyway, Night of the Comet's really good if you've never seen that movie. It stars the guy that played Chakotay in Star Trek Voyager, and the girl who played Buffy in the original Buffy movie. And the main character's name is Samantha, and she drives a motorcycle, which is pretty cool. But anyway, that was like random. I saw that and I was like, oh, Night of the Comet. What are you doing here? Another one finished. This one was, if I ever get this camera to just be where I want it to be. Enjoy going on this journey with me. This was fun. Really simple, sweet, cute little love story. Simple in the ways that a graphic novel of this type usually is. The art was gorgeous. And I do like the kind of like through line story of being like figuring out who you are. I'm saying like a lot, but this was good. That is all of the library books. I finished all my library books now. So what am I going to read next? I think I'm going to read, when I tell you I've got a lot of graphic novels, I've got a lot of graphic novels. I've got The Fire Never Goes Out, which is by the author of Nimona, and it's sort of like a graphic memoir, I think. Yeah, memoir and pictures. So this one might be a little bit more heavy than the one I just read, the graphic novels, 3 of them I just read. But I'll try to knock this one out maybe before we go to the movie tonight, but I finished another book. Look at me go. Good morning. It's the day of the road trip. You're going to hear Nimoy. He's very upset because he can tell that something's going on. Come here. Come here. It's okay. I love you. Lay down. No, lay down. And also, a friend's coming over to help Steven do some stuff outside. So, like, there's a lot going on, and he's a little bit distressed about it. But I did finish some books yesterday. I finished Halfway There, which is a graphic memoir, just like this, kind of a memoir and pictures. I did like this. I think the concept is very good because it's about, the author, and she is half Japanese, half white, and her trying to, like, find her identity and struggling with that, but also kind of struggling with depression and normal, like, 20-something doubt that I don't even know what I'm doing. And, I mean, spoiler alert, as someone who's in their 30s, you don't. In your 20s, you don't know what you're doing. So it's nice to know that even though you feel alone, you're alone with everybody else. But the art was really good in here. I liked how depression was kind of representative of her, like, melting. That was good. The Fire Never Goes Out, a memoir and pictures, was also really good. It was a tough read in some cases. I think I put a bookmark somewhere in here. It feels like I did, because there was a section that, like, really stuck out to me, especially near the end when she sort of realizes what's going on. Oh gosh, I thought I marked something. Did I not? It's okay. I mean, I recommend this. This was pretty good. I think that it, as someone else who went through a crazy evolution from like 2011 to 2019, this felt very recognizable to me. I didn't do the dramatic sexuality identification maybe that this author did, but other things definitely got deconstructed at the time and sort of became lesser and more important in different ways. So this was also very good. I started a book. I started Whitebird. I've never read Wonder. It's like connected to the Wonder story. I think the actual story is good. The art is very clearly like traced images. I'm not saying that's how it was done, but I'm saying that's how it looks. It's very, there's not a lot of depth to the art. It's very, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, I don't know. I have a hard time with that particular art style in graphic novels. And I started Tantrum on audiobook. I listened to an hour of that last night. Now, regrettably, the adapter I need to be able to listen to my audiobook while I'm driving did not come in time. So I'm just going to have to hope for the best. I was hoping I could use my own phone to listen to audiobooks, but I cannot. So I'm just going to crank the volume up on my phone and hope for the best. It's probably for the best that I don't have stuff very loud so I don't stay distracted. This is a 4-hour drive through mostly highway, and I am a noted anxiety haver when it comes to highway driving. So I will let you know when I get there. You're not getting B-roll of me like driving because I'm the only one in the car. I'm going to do a last check of all that I'm packed, all that I have packed. I've got to get my books in there. I've still got to get my bags in the car. But Stephen was really nice. He put all the stuff I'd need if I got a flat tire in the car. He checked all my fluids, checked the air and the tires, so we're good to go. And it is currently 7:23, so I'll leave in probably about 30 minutes. And then I'll be in Charlotte, and we'll see what kind of shenanigans me and Gina get up to. Ugh, what happened?
She has sketches of Kylo Ren with his pants pulled up to his nipples in her sketchbook. Like, so that's like painfully millennial. Like Sarah.
That is
what's it
very.
called? Sarah's sketches or whatever.
Yeah, it's very millennial. Is that a Raylo?
I don't think so.
Okay. Devastating news. This is number 3. But I've been looking for this series since like 2010. It's $15. I don't need it, but I really, really want it. Alright, come see what it is. May contain sense of self-worth or bees. Let's hope it's not the bees. Hey, buddy, you gonna help me?
Oh.
Okay, you can help. Oh, Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Okay, I actually don't think I own that. The wedding date.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Okay, and looking for Alaska.
Those are actually
That's not bad.
decent, like,
For may contain sense of self-worth or bees. Okay. And I need a copy of that from my classroom library because I had 2 copies, so now it's like a good group book. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm proud. For $3, yeah, that's not bad. All right.
Felix, you need a wipe on your butt, sir.
He's like, no, I'm fine.
Okay, I've been really bad about showing you the things I got at the different stores I went to in Charlotte, and I haven't updated you on some books that I finished. So, um, you're currently leaning on some books, so let me just give you reviews for the 2 audiobooks I listened to. I listened to Tantrum on the way to Charlotte, and I like that one. I think the narrator was really good for that, so it helped save it. It went places I didn't expect it to go, which I don't really know where I expected to go, with it being maternal horror, but it went a lot deeper than I thought. But I did like it, and I finished all but like 20 minutes of it on the way there, and then on the way back, I listened to Audition. Still not sure what that was, and what that was about, but I did finish it. I also finished, oh gosh, where did I put that book? I had started this before I left, and I finished it last night. Whitebird. I've never read Wonder, so I didn't really have that frame of reference for this story, but it's the story of one of the kids from Wonder, his grandma, in World War II in France, and it was genuinely sad, like most Holocaust novels are. But that's another one done. I'm filming.
I didn't know you were filming.
Yeah, it's fine. What's up? Hey, Tim. But anyway, that's all I've finished, I think. I got about halfway through Killer on the Road. That's going to be really good. That's going to be genuinely good. Tim, do you want to be involved? See my cardigan I got? Oh my god. But I finished, I'm 25% of the way through Mayfly, halfway through Killer on the Road. Let me show you the stuff I got from different places. Okay, the first place we went was Second and Charles, because we always go to Second and Charles. I got Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I've been looking for this kind of, and it's like $7, and I'll probably read this for this kind of reading challenge thing. I got the complete Persepolis, because I just had the first one, so now I have 1 and 2, and this was $11. So I've also had kids read the first one, and they want the second one, so now they can have it. And I also found a $7 Penguin Clothbound Classic, Naked Lunch, which weirdly enough was just mentioned in the One Day Everyone Will Always Have Been Against This book. So that's going to go on the clothbound shelf. Very cool. I'm going to have to move you to show you the rest of them. I'm still not quite used to where the camera is on this new phone. But anyway, we went to a bookshop in South Carolina, and that was where I saw the Tarot Cafe book and decided not to get it, but I did get The Tale of Emily Winsnap, and I'm going to give it to my sister because I used to read this to her before bed. Like, this was one of our bedtime books, and I got this sick-ass cover of Frankenstein with the edges. That's pretty neat. They had a lot of different Frankensteins I like. Tim, why are you rubbing on my books? Weird animals in this house. Gina let me have a hard copy of Truly Devious, which I did not have, and a book from my classroom called Tilly in Technicolor, and then she gave me one that is wrapped, and she knew what it was, so... All the Blues in the Sky. I just read this last month. That's going to be great. I can't wait to recommend that to a kid that I want to emotionally traumatize. Today we went to Enjoy. I've got some stuff from there too. You've seen the 3 books that I got in that mystery bundle. And then this came from Book Buyers, The Life and Death of Mary Wollstonecraft. And this is Mary Shelley's mom. I did a project on her for one of my Brit Lit classes in college. We went to Enjoy. I can't show you everything I got at Enjoy because some of them are Christmas presents where I'm like buying books when I see them. But I can show you these. I got a digital camera, like a really cheap little digital camera, but it does work. I need fresh batteries for it, but it does work. So I'm going to do that and maybe get an SD card. And I think I'm going to give it to my seniors and let them take pictures like on the first day. That'd be kind of cool. I found myself. So, and I found like one of my holy grail thrift finds that I've been wanting to find for a while now. I know I reasonably can't drink out of it. It's probably got lead, but I'm going to set it on my shelf and it's going to be so cute. And I'm so excited I found it. So today let's see. I need to update my spreadsheet because that's where my numbers are accurate as far as what I've read. I think I need to look at Fable and Goodreads and get their asses in line because they are not accurate. I need to finish Killer on the Road. I need to continue more of Mayfly. I'm still not sure if I want to count Killers on the Road and The Babysitter Lives or whatever as 2 books. I kind of do because they basically are 2 books. And then I'm probably going to read, I've got Fangs, obviously I just got. And then I've got On a Sunbeam, I think is a graphic novel back here. I've got Gwendy's Magic Feather, and I've got Are You My Mother, which is a Alice Bechdel book. And then I've got a couple of other like graphic novel classic stuff I'll show. They're longer than you think they are. But I'm going to see if I can get something else finished today. I also need to pick another audiobook to listen to while I'm gaming. And I think I may do a Lego set. Not today. Not today. We got to go eat dinner with his dad tonight, so I won't be doing that today. But maybe later this week. It's going to be rainy. We'll see. Good evening. Here's a reading update. It's 10 p.m. I've settled in to watch the newest episode of South Park. I've got fresh figs from a family friend, and I've got peppermint tea because I'm still kind of... And we went to my in-laws' house, and my father-in-law smokes. So sometimes that reactivates it. I've been reading Mayfly on my Kindle. I've got it propped up and like using my remote, which is so fun. And I'm almost finished with Killers on the Road. I think I might finish Mayfly tonight. I need to find another audiobook to listen to for when I play games. And I don't know if I'm going to game tonight or not. But it's so good. Fresh figs are so good. But I need to figure something out. I've got a couple options, but all of them need to be downloaded. But I will either finish Killers on the Road or Mayfly tonight. It's looking very much like Mayfly. And then after Mayfly, I'm probably going to read The Har because I have it downloaded. And I'd kind of started it before. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, gonna watch South Park and do some more reading.
Good morning, or it's 2:20, so should I say good afternoon? Nimoy's freaking out because it's getting close to like DINNER time, and we just like left and came back, so he's very excited that we came back. But I finished 2 more books since you last saw me. I finished Mayfly. It made me sad. I don't think it was supposed to make me sad, but it made me very sad. Well, I'll take that back. It reminds me a lot of like, and this is a high compliment, of Richard Bachman books, which is like Stephen King before he was like pulling his punches, really. And so like the brutality and like horror is so brutal, but it was also so funny. Like the way she talked was very, very funny. The vibes were very good. I love a female protagonist that's not quite likable and isn't really worried about being likable, but also there's this sense of loneliness. And I don't know. I'm very sad that it did not work out for her in the end. If you're hoping for a happy ending for Mayfly, you're not going to get it. But I did really, really enjoy that book. I'm going to be boosting the next CJ Lead book pretty far up my TBR. I think I can also check it out on Kindle Unlimited, so might look into that. I also finished Killer on the Road. I loved the ending. It doesn't exactly wrap it up nicely, but it both confirmed some stuff I thought was going to happen and also surprised me. So I love when that can happen. The gore was gory in this book. Like Stephen Graham Jones, he's going to do it. And the dialogue was very like, keep it going. And it's ultimately a story about kind of like growing up and getting over things, which I liked. So now I get to read The Babysitter Lives, and I started an audiobook. I started Full Speed to a Crash Landing, I think is what is it. Anyway, it's an audiobook, and there's 3 of them. It's 3 novellas. I was able to get the second one on Libro FM, but the other 2 I checked out from Libby. So I'm listening to the first one now, and it's about like a salvage girl, whatever, in space, and she gets rescued by these people. That's all that's really happened so far.
It's very snarky. It's giving Hitchhikers a little bit. But I'm going to read that because it's only about 4 hours. All of them are only about 4 hours long. So my goal today is to do as little as possible, really. My head does not feel good because all of my sinus stuff is still kind of up here. And so I've taken some medicine, and I know I probably need to not read physically. I also probably don't need to have earbuds in, but we'll see, because I'd really like to do a Lego set. You can't tell, but it's like super rainy today and like gloomy. I love fake fall. It's gonna make me so sad when it's gone and it's like 100 degrees next week. But right now it's in the 70s and I love it. So I'm gonna start The Babysitter Lives, and I've also downloaded the horror on my Kindle. But like I said, I'll probably pick up the next CJ Lead book too. I think I'm gonna have to read anything she writes. I think I'm gonna have to. I have some other options as far as graphic novels, but I don't know. I may give myself a break from words and do pictures and words at some point, but I don't know yet. If I do, I'll take you along with me. I don't think there's anything interesting happening today. We've been doing some cleaning and straightening up, which is how I listen to the audiobook. And I might do a Lego set. Again, we'll see where it takes me. I finished quite a few books, so let me tell you about them and then tell you what the plan for the day is. Today is Friday, August 8th, which means I'm slowly running out of time for this challenge, but I feel pretty good about yesterday. I finished Concrete Kids. Gina put this in with a bunch of books for my classroom, and I thought it was kind of a cool little poetry thing. I wanted to check it out first. Really like this. There's probably at least one kid that I'm going to put it directly in the hands of, I think, when I go back to school. But it was definitely from the author's perspective, but very universal in its discussion of like home and identity. And I really enjoyed it. Very quick read. Another quick read was Fangs by Sarah Anderson. She does the Sarah Scribbles things. This is very simple, cutesy little cartoons about a vampire and a werewolf romance. I think the book is really cool because it's got those black sprayed edges and it's like cloth. So that's going to look good on the shelf. Not really anything to write home about, but it was fun. What else did I read? Oh, I did finish the audiobook last night at about 11 o'clock of Full Speed to a Crash Landing. Did not expect the twist, which really wasn't a twist when you think about it. I kind of felt like the main character where he was like, son of a bitch, why didn't I realize this? That's kind of how I felt, which is good because it was a novella. It set up the sequel. I got the sequel downloaded and the third one downloaded already, so I think I can get those finished this weekend. But I liked how snarky it was. Like I said, it was kind of given Hitchhikers, which I enjoyed, and I think the romance is cute. It's not like a really spicy rom-com kind of thing, right? Like it's just these two people who think, no, yeah, you're kind of cute, but I got other stuff I gotta do. Oh, I finished The Horror. That was genuinely one of the best books I've ever read. I don't know what Nimoy's mad at. We're just gonna let him bark in the background. It was so good. The horror was horrific, right? Like it's not like splatterpunk kind of graphic horror, but it did kind of get there. There was one scene where Avalon, the sea creature, like kills these 3 guys, but he does so by seducing them, and it was a little bit much, but like that fits the genre. But it was just such a sweet little love story. It was basically about an old lady who misses her husband. I liked that. That was cute. I teared up a little bit at the end when she was like saying goodbye to him, because it wasn't really him, but it was him. Anyway, I like that. It was a quick read. I've downloaded, is it Walking Distance? I'll put a picture up of it or something. It's another novella that's like a horror novella about an alien. So I'll have that to read if I want to do something on my Kindle. Today's plan, though, I realize that my count is slightly off because I haven't finished Lord of the Flies. I started it back in May for the AP Lit kids, and then I just never finished it because we were going to run out of time. I need to finish that book. Even if I don't annotate it like I need to finish it. I can always reread it next time I teach AP Lit, which who knows when that'll be. but I need to read that. I have another Alice Bechdel book, Are You My Mother? It's in the living room right now. I'll try to get those two read today, I think, and read the second book in that novella trilogy. I think it's How to Steal a Galaxy, but don't quote me on that, when I play my video game later today. But we do also have football. It's preseason football for the Panthers, so we're going to be watching that tonight. So whatever I read, I want to be able to watch the game as well. So anyway, that's where we're at. I think I'm into the 90s now, but I'll try to give you an accurate count like later. I also have some errands to run. I need to pay my utilities. I need to make a hair appointment because this is not doing it for first day of school. I mean, I can do this for my coworkers, but my kids can't see me like this. So yeah, the 13th is slowly approaching, right? Like that's my soft deadline. And I think I can do it. I just gotta lock in. Okay, it is 2:23 on August 9th, and let me update you on what I've read. I finished the second book in How to Steal a Galaxy. Fine sequel, gets you from point A, book 1, to point B, book 3, fine. And was really kind of clever. I like the sort of, I don't know if he's supposed to be an Elon Musk caricature, but that's what he felt like, and I liked him. He was funny. Easily hateable, and I like how our main character was like, I fucking hate you every time she could. I read a little bit of Lord of the Flies. I probably got maybe 2-3 chapters left of that. I love that book. And it's just as good as I remember it. I would like to be annotating it the way I need to, but I simply don't have the time for that. Did I finish anything else? No. I've got about an hour left on Walking Distance, the book on my Kindle, which I've been reading today, and that's a silly one. It's an alien that eats people. Don't you jump up here. Pepper, no. Why? Give me a second. I can't have nothing of my own in this house, Jesus. Yeah, Pepper, I moved because of you. Anyway. But I'll probably finish that today. I'll finish Walking Distance and Lord of the Flies. I started on a Sunbeam, which is a graphic novel. It's a very big graphic novel. It's a thick boy. So I probably won't finish that today. I did finish this yesterday, though. Are You My Mother? A comic drama as opposed to Fun Home, the tragic comedy. Same author, but this one's about her mother. Fun Home, if you don't know, is written. It's kind of like a fictionalized memoir of Alice Bechdel growing up and sort of her relation to her father. And they lived at a funeral home, aka the Fun Home. I'd read it a couple years ago because I saw the musical and Gina got it for me for Christmas, and I read it in like one day, and then like the next year I had to read it for a comic and graphic novel class, so that was pretty cool. But I saw that she had one about her mother, and I don't know if I like this one as much, but I also did like this one. There was a lot of stuff that felt very call out to me specifically in here, so it was a little bit interesting to get to that, but very quick read. Beautifully done. I mean, her stuff's always so cool. And so that's 2 more books read. 2 more I'll probably finish today. And I'm listening to the 3rd book in that series, which is, oh gosh, I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember the name of it. They all kind of bleed together. But it's quick enough, so I'll finish that today while I do my video games, because the Battlefield beta is available to my husband now, so he's in there gaming. I assume that's going to be like his evening plans. And I'm going to play my video game because I hope to finish it by the time I have to start back to school, like get everything done. So I'm going to put my audiobook on. I'm going to resist the nap that is calling me by my full government name, and I'm going to listen to my audiobook, play my video game. I'll give you a full count later. I need to update my spreadsheet, but I'm in the 90s now. If you've been keeping up at home, I'm in the 90s now. Good afternoon. It is currently 3 o'clock. I was really naughty and revenge slept today till about 11. But I did finish 3 books. So I just know this is going to send me into the world's worst reading slump ever. I can feel it coming. At last count, I'm right at 100, but I don't trust it, so I'm gonna go back and double check after I make sure to add all these correctly. I finished On a Sunbeam. I would show you the book, but I'm currently using it to prop up the camera, which is a graphic novel that's like two timelines. It's a young girl named Mia and her girlfriend Grace in a girls' boarding school in space, and it's also the story of not like a salvage crew, but like a rebuilding crew, family kind of thing that Mia joins later, and you kind of get the connections of how those two stories interact, and then them traveling to this planet, and it's very pretty. I liked a lot of the layout choices of the graphic novel. I've read some really good designed graphic novels this week, or last 2 weeks, I guess. No, it's been a week. But I really enjoyed that. But I finished that this morning. I just finished Lord of the Flies a little while ago. Still solid, still very scary. Again, what if the beast is us? And I found it interesting that in the more to read section, at the end they've got like, hey, don't just say like, oh, read Hunger Games. Here's the thing about the book that you might want more of, and here's books that are related to that, or pictures or movies, which as a teacher I really like, because you can put a picture up at the beginning of class and say, hey, what are some feelings that come out of this? What are some things that some big themes that can come out of this picture, and then like lead that into the novel. So I really enjoyed that one. But there was a reference to Ta-Nehisi Coates' Between the World and Me for a nonfiction read, and that's from the section Fear of the Other, which I think is pretty cool. And I was going to be listening to that on audiobook tomorrow at school, so I thought that was kind of a cool connection. I also finished Walking Practice, which I've been saying wrong for like 2 days now. How could you let me do that? Which is about an alien that arranges hookups with humans and kills them after intercourse. I appreciate it for the representation that it becomes and allows itself to be. Like the afterword is given by the translator because it was originally written in Korean. That it's a very queer work, and I agree with that. I think there's also sort of a neurotypical and chronic disease reading you could have to it. Like this alien is constantly in pain, having to walk the stairs and having to walk to these hookups, and it's like everything in them just to get to the next meal, and they are unhappy all the time. And I think there's something to be said about reading it as an outsider to the human experience, how that could make you miserable and or sad about being left out of that human experience. And it was just funny too. It was terribly funny. That's it. That's what I've read today. I'm still reading or listening to Magical Girl Retires. Like I think audiobooks are books, but I'm using different senses for that. So I've listened to about half the books this week, and I've read the other half. I'm going to prioritize now, because I've caught up on all that stuff, finishing Magical Girl Retires, and I'm gonna probably read some more of The Babysitter Lives, the second part of that Stephen Graham Jones book, because it's gonna bother me that it's not finished. I also have gotten about halfway through Sweet and Bitter Magic, and I just don't like it, and so it's a chore to read it, but I need to finish it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that I'm probably going to go through a reader slump, because I'm about to start school, so I'm going to be reading stuff for grad school, and I'm going to be reading stuff with my classes. We're not doing, as of my schedule right now, I do not have English 2 this semester, so I won't read Night until spring, but I have English 4, which means potentially Macbeth, Frankenstein, and probably something else. I don't know if I want to drag them through Beowulf or not, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel. But I'll get back to you when I actually do something. It's looking like we may get rain this afternoon or evening. It's clouded up out there a little bit, but we don't have inside plans. Steven's still playing the Battlefield beta. I've got Minico's Night Market to keep playing. But I do really want to build the Tuxedo Cat Lego set. I'm not necessarily going to film it. I feel like that always makes me feel rushed. Like when I film myself doing a Lego set, I feel like I have to rush through it. And I just want to kind of take my time and enjoy it because I've had that set since Christmas. So I'm down to 3 Lego sets in the house not done. I haven't done my tuxedo. I haven't done Suki's car from Fast and Furious. And I haven't done, there's a 3-in-1 like house set I need to build. But the Tuxedo Cat, I think, would be a good, like, you're about to go back to school treat to myself. So, supper time. Anyway, I'll get back to you when I've read something. Okay. Just going to take a brief look around. I'm going to try to keep out any identifying information because I've got kids' names and teacher names on my board, but, like, Jesus H. Christ. It's worth noting that I only have 2 plugs in the room, one buried behind all of this and one buried behind all that. So I have to uncover one of them before I can use my computer. It's a branched up for college, but this is just the before. We'll see what I can get done today. If I look a mess, it's because I feel a mess. I'm not going to show you the after of my room yet because right now it's in the during stage and it's real bad. Like, it's real bad. I was like cleaning and I turned around and looked and I was like, oh shit, I made it worse. But I do feel good about some of the cleaning and organizing I got done today. Today really was just from moving stuff physically, even though I was itching to get to my computer and do some planning stuff. I made a list to get it out of my brain. There were still staff members on campus, so I did get distracted a couple times, but there weren't that many people, and if I closed the door, it was fine. But I did finish. I started and finished Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and it was very, very good. I like the sort of like 1-2 writing of it. I love when a book is narrated by its author because I feel like they bring so much more meaning to it. This kind of self-reflective nature of that book, but it also being sort of a message to his son was really beautiful. I kind of want to get a physical copy of it and do some annotations and possibly do some excerpts like essays in my class for like style and voice, because I feel like it had a very strong voice to it. And it's not just because he read it, but like in general, like it flowed really beautifully. That is the first thing I can remember ever reading from Ta-Nehisi Coates. So I may have to pick up something else by him because that was very, very good. I still have to finish The Woods All Black, which I didn't tell you that. I started listening to The Woods All Black, and I really like it. I don't know what I expected, but I'm about 80% through, so I'll probably finish that tonight. I also never updated you on my thoughts on the trilogy, the novellas, I think it's Chaotic Orbits is what it's called, and I don't remember the last one. It was like a blink and you miss it to me, so main thoughts. I don't know why this was 3 books. Like, I do, but I don't. Did it keep you wanting to read more by ending the way they all did? Yes. Would it have been just as impactful with 1 book? Probably. But it was okay. It was serviceable. It wasn't as spicy as I think I thought it was going to be, but I don't mind that. I don't read stuff for the spice anyway. It's nice if it's there, but this one was just kind of cute, like Catch Me If You Can vibes, with space heist stuff. And I like the nature of it. Magical Girl with Tires, same thing. Surprise hit. I really enjoyed that. And it was short and sweet and to the point, but I think for that one's message, it needed to be. It didn't need to dwell on itself. It didn't need to go into too much world building. You just need to accept that there's a world where there's magical girls and they come into their powers through traumatic events. And sometimes the powers are silly. Sometimes the powers are really good. Sometimes they could be like life altering. And the through line of like climate change and the ultimate goal of these women, these girls, is to combat bad things in life, but they're all focused on, we got to find the magical girl of time, and she has to help us with climate change. So, you know that going in, there's this expectation that our main character is going to be that magical girl. I like how it kind of plays on your expectations and what it chooses to do in the end as far as that's resolved. But I want to tell you, it's short enough. Listen to it. I think it's really good. What else did I listen to? Oh, I don't think I told you about the Penelope ad. The Penelope ad, however it's pronounced, by Margaret Atwood. I love Atwood, so I like this. It's the Odyssey from the perspective of Penelope, but also kind of the perspective of very much the perspective of the 12 maids that are hung when Odysseus returns, and sort of them acting as a chorus of like, we've been wronged, where is the justice for us? And I really like Atwood's voice anyway. Like, I like her writing, and I like Penelope as not fully the devoted, simpering housewife, but also not like, I don't know, like, she really made her well-rounded. Like, yeah, I did love my husband, but like some of the stuff I did was just out of protection for me. And yeah, I loved him, but I could go without all the songs about him laying in beds with goddesses. And I just kind of thought it was very realistic of someone who was really only married physically and with him for a little while, and then was without him for like 20 years, how her perception of love for him would be. And then this tragic event that happened where these maids were killed, and sort of her interpretation of how that happened. I think it would be a really good companion piece if you were to teach the Odyssey. I'm considering maybe looking into that, because I know our seniors, I don't think, got the Odyssey as freshmen, so I may teach them some excerpts from the Odyssey since the movie's coming out, and do Atwood's Siren Song poem and do bits from the Penelope ad. I don't know. But it was pretty good. So I think my count is over 100 now. I'll have to get back to you. I am going to finish The Woods All Black, and that'll be it. It is currently the 11th at 3 o'clock. So like, I'm meeting my deadline of the 13th well before the 13th. And if I have finished 100 books, like once I double check it, if it is 100 books, I am going to just call it. We did a good job. I think it's over 20 already just with the graphic novels. I took my library books back today as well. Not that you needed to see that. But I am going to open up some book mail because I got some today. So I canceled my Owlcrate subscription because I was getting these YA novels that I just knew I was never going to read. And when the stuff was good, it was really good. But when it was bad, I was just kind of mid. So I'll probably just kind of keep an eye out for the store if they stock stuff that was neat in a box. But I just don't need to spend that much money every month on a box of a book I'm not going to read for like a year or two. However, they got me on those quarterly subscriptions. They got this really cool, that's so neat, quarterly horror. I got the Buffalo Hunter, their edition of that. That was a win. And this is the one for August, I think. And don't quote me when it comes out different. I think it's the new Cassandra Call book, just based on descriptions. I haven't looked too much into it. I do like surprises, funny enough. But let's find out. Oh, I'm gonna get paper everywhere. It is the new Cassandra Call book. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Very pastel goth. The Library of Hellborn. I think it's like an academia-based thing. Sometimes we do terrible things to survive, don't we? And that leaf, the lighting is ass right now. I'm going to try to get this unwrapped, and I'm going to come back and show it to you. This lighting is terrible for me, but it's so much better for the book. Again, beautiful. Oh, man, she's pretty. Got this little grayscale skull. Very illustrator-type stuff. I love the gold on the name. The gold foiling is beautiful. We have a through line of sprayed edges here. Very cool. Looks like it has a ribbon bookmark, a yellow ribbon bookmark. Oh, sick. Sorry. Just saw the inside cover. Oh, that's so sick. Look. Ah, it's giving Junji Ito. Ah, that's sick. Oh, who is she? Oh, man, and look at the cool figs. Oh, man, I have figs in my fridge right now. I could go take some pictures with this. Ah, so cool. That is the ugliest stuff. Oh, I love it. Ah, man. And then, oh, man, that's beautiful, too. Look at the reversible cover. Sick. I tell you what, that is the investment right there. I might not like the the monthly books, but I have yet to be let down by the quality on the quarterly books yet. Because Buffalo Hunter was also beautiful. So anyway, I'll see you again when I finish The Woods So Black, or Woods All Black, whatever it is. Which is like historical fiction horror kind of ish book. It's very light on the horror so far. The horror has been the people all along, which is kind of like Lord of the Flies, which I just finished. But I need to read The Babysitter Lives. I won't finish that for this challenge, but I am going to read it. Oh man, that's a pretty book. All right, I'll see you in a little bit, or tomorrow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, let's wrap this up from the weirdest angle possible, so I can actually edit this video. I finished a lot of books. It's currently 8:17. Tomorrow is Monday the 18th, and that's the official like opening day meeting for all the teachers at my school. The next day is a meeting for all the teachers in the district. I've got like an open house on Wednesday. I've got an open house on Thursday. So like safe to say school's back, right? So let's recap what I read, not in any kind of detail. I'm just going to give you counts. I'm still not sure about the counts on Goodreads and Storygraph and Fable. I think there's some glitches, and I just don't have it in me to do anything with that. The one that I know is accurate is the book spreadsheet that I got from Allie, the hardback hoarder, at the beginning of the year. That thing's been updated like beautifully. And I think I can count well enough to know what's going on. Now, I do have some books that I'm currently reading that are throwing off my count a little bit. I'm still reading The Babysitter Lives. I didn't get that done for this reading challenge, but it's not because it's not good. I just haven't had time to sit down and read it. I also haven't worked on the Zora Neale Hurston book very much. Again, there's some books that just didn't quite make it. And then I've read some books after the challenge that I don't really want to, like, they don't go into the challenge because the challenge was technically August 13th because that was the first day of planning. So I haven't counted anything after August 13th, even though I have read things since August 13th. You feel me? Okay. So here's what I read. I got to scroll all the way back up into my list. I did read Lord of the Flies. I finished Lord of the Flies. So that was way up in this list where I was like currently reading. But I did finish Lord of the Flies. I finished, here we go, Lost Boy by Greg Ruth, Glister by Andy Watson, Bloom, I finished halfway there. I finished The Fire Never Goes Out. I finished Whitebird. I finished Tantrum. I read Audition. I did finish Killer on the Road. I read Mayfly. I read Full Speed to a Crash Landing and its sequel, Last Chance to Save the World, and How to Steal a Galaxy, and then Last Chance to Save the World. I read Concrete Kids. I read Fangs. I read The Heart. I read Are You My Mother? I read The Penelopiad. I'm so sorry for that pronunciation. On a Sunbeam. Walking Practice. Magical Girl Retires. Between the World and Me. Woods All Black. And One Day, Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. So if I'm correct, my total count is... Okay, there's one more I have to count. I did finish When the Wolf Comes Home on the 13th, like on the 13th. So I am counting that. That was solid too. I haven't really talked about it, but that is a good fucking book. Highly recommend. The ending tore me up a little bit. But with that one, it's 25 books. It's 25 books, and the total books read is 104. So not only did I read as many books as possible, I also beat my overall yearly book challenge of 100 books. Which is good because this year is going to be crazy. They have new curriculum for us. They're changing... Hi, Tim. They're changing what books go with what grade level. So Night is no longer a sophomore text. It's a freshman text. And Macbeth is a sophomore text. No, freshman text. Either way, I don't agree with where they have Macbeth. I don't agree with where they have Macbeth. I think Macbeth worked really well as a senior text. And I'm going to teach it to my seniors because they haven't gotten it at all. Thanks, Tim. I have to teach seniors this semester and freshmen. I haven't taught freshmen in 4 years, so that's going to be interesting. But it's brand new curriculum. So until I get into that curriculum, I don't even know what I'm reading for each grade level anymore. I was really like, I knew what was going on, and now it's just this big question. I don't know. But the good news is I don't have to freak out about not meeting my reading challenge. I also have gotten both of my grad school classes have started, so I am going to read probably at least one textbook per class. But you know how those are. And I feel really good about this. I am obviously still going to finish some of these that I started and didn't finish, but they can't count toward this thing. And I'm not going to adjust my reading challenge count. It was at 100. I like to see how much further than 100 I can get by the end of the year, but I can breathe knowing that I did it. I did it. I hope this has been interesting. I don't feel like I did a lot as far as like interesting things to see. It was just me going, yeah, I finished another book. But I felt pretty good about things. So there we go. Oh, shit. I'm just dropping stuff. All right. I have to go read something for class now, and I need to edit this video. So I hope you enjoyed whatever this was. Bye.